This episode of Muddy River Gems is brought to you by Dot Foods.
I think what it comes down to is the culture and the people.
Our culture here at Dot is like no other. I've never experienced anything like what I've lived with for the last 12 years.
Dot is very diverse.
It is truly a family-owned business, but it is a family inside and out.
You always feel like you matter and you play a big hand in the pot.
There's so many opportunities to make a difference at Dot and really contribute to the success of the organization.
You may recognize this colorful mural in Washington Park in Quincy. It's the Quincy Childrens Museum. Hasn't been here very long. We're going to take a visit, and it's brought to you by Dot Foods on this edition of Muddy River Gems. Well, Amy Peters, these are interesting times at the Quincy Childrens Museum because you're always in flux, or you always have been since the beginning, but now you're sort of in a new space, waiting to move into a newer space, right? But here we are in Washington Square, and you've been in here since the beginning of the year, is that right?
Yes.
How's it going?
It's going really well. In our first month, we welcomed about 2,100 visitors. We had field trips, birthday parties, and some events, and so it's going really well.
Yeah, I mean, you know, like I said, it's in flux because you moved around. You were in a mobile, museum for a long time, right?
Yeah, so as an emerging children's museum, we traveled to local events, schools, libraries, and we loved doing that, but it's really nice to have some roots here and let families be able to come here, come to visit us, and not have to search for us all over the community.
Right, and when they come in here, I mean, you know right where everything is because you haven't had to move it for a while, and all you have to do is kind of pick it up at the end of the day and you're ready to go the next day, right?
All day, every day.
Can you show us through? Let's start here. This is the front door.
Yep.
You come in, the first thing you see is, there's a desk, somebody to welcome you here, but take us into the first room.
Okay, so this is our fire department. It is an area for little kiddos they can put on their firefighter gear, get their boots on, get in the truck, take some 911 calls. When they get back, they can wash up their materials, they can make themselves some lunch. We've got books all over the museum so that if families want to take a few minutes to stop and read, they can do that. But there's food in here for them to prepare a meal, and they've got all their firefighting equipment up there as well. So this is definitely a favorite area for kiddos when they
I'll
come
bet
to
they
visit.
have a blast. Do these things make noise when they squeeze them?
They don't.
No? Okay.
The phone makes a noise, and if we put batteries in, a few of those things would make noise, but there's enough noise.
Yeah, I'm sure there is. I'm sure you got plenty of noise.
Yeah.
Fire hydrant, that's cool.
Yeah, this has actually become one of the favorite hiding spots, so if something goes missing, sometimes we look in there.
You always have to look in there. Yep. In the mailbox too, if it'll slide in there.
So we've got a couple different mailboxes throughout the museum and some little postal worker outfits, and kids love to deliver the mail and send letters.
Well, they all know who the mailman is.
Yep,
It comes
they've all
every
seen
day.
it. Yep.
Okay, let's go to the Farm Fresh Market.
Yeah.
All right,
so,
take us in.
Up next is our market. So grocery store is kind of a favorite across the globe of children's museums. Kiddos love to come in, grab their little cart, fill it up with everything, run it across the register, ring the bell, push the buttons, and check it out. So it's always funny to hear kiddos say, your total is $2 or your total's $400. They just, you never know what they're going to tell you, how much your groceries are going to cost.
Well, they all know what inflation's about, I guess.
Yeah.
Okay, this is interesting. A lot of them probably have not even seen these because they're always in a carton, right? They didn't know that eggs actually could come like this.
Yeah.
Okay, so here the canned goods and the fresh vegetables, and they get to identify what a tomato is and what a cucumber is, and they get to pick it up and feel what everything is.
Yeah. So in here, there's they get to identify the food, but then you also sometimes will see some families talking about color identification or what would go together. So they're going to have their their fruit in a can, but then they can find the fruit over here as well. So can you find me a red tomato, or can you find me something that's yellow? We love to have different interactions like that in here.
Yeah. Well, I know there are some children here, so let's take a detour.
Okay.
And let's go down here where the kids are playing.
Okay.
And then we'll come back here, okay?
Okay, let's go see the kids.
Because I don't know how long we'll have kids.
Okay. One of our biggest kids here is Miss Sheridan working.
Yeah,
So back
right.
here is our STEM lab. It is an area where science, technology, engineering, all of those kind of principles are in the flesh. So you can see one of our visitors here is checking out the spin chair, which is always fun. And then over here at the table is one of our magnet block stations. So we rotate those out, but that's definitely been a fan favorite.
Show me where the magnet block is.
That's what this little guy over here is playing with.
Oh, okay.
So,
All right.
what are you making? Not sure.
He's shy.
Do you want to show him the wind tunnel? Think you
Do you
can
know
do
how
it?
it works? The wind tunnel? Huh? Do you know how it works? Oh, whoa, isn't that nifty?
Yeah, that's
Oh, wow.
We had a smaller version of that traveled with us, and it got a lot of love and became damaged. And I think we didn't have it at the mall last fall, and it was missed. So kids have loved having the new bigger one.
Yeah,
It's got a bigger fan and blows things a little bit higher.
Now she's going to just jump into this cylinder again. What do you call that?
That's the spin chair.
Spin chair.
So,
okay.
and then if you walk on this floor here, you'll notice the tiles move around and.
Oh yeah, like liquid.
Yeah. So.
Isn't that neat? Can you make little girl? Can you make a design walking on there? Huh?
Pretty cool.
Kinda.
They're experts. So we've got about 150 member families right now. So it's one of our member families that you guys are OG fans. You guys have been around for a while.
Wow.
So
150 member families.
Yep.
Well, that'll
new
keep you
families
going.
every week. So that's
What's
awesome.
the board for?
This is our Lightzilla. So it is basically a giant light bright. We've got all the tubs of pegs over here that are different colors that kiddos can then put them in and make different designs.
Right, and if they're old enough, they could spell things out.
Yeah,
or...
it looks like we've got some names over there. A sunshine.
Oh, that's
we've had
neat.
Sometimes the parents have gotten involved. We've had big life-size creations on there of Mario and Pokemon. So.
I'm figuring that when you were in your mobile outfit, you couldn't have this much. You've
Not
really
quite.
been able to spread out, haven't you?
Yeah, we've really been able to grow. Behind you here is a mural that local artist J.C. Womack Spake created for us. You'll see there, kind of poking his head out of the tree, is our beloved wonky pigeon mascot. Got to pan down just a little bit. There's a lot of different iterations of him around the museum and on some of our merchandise, and we've embraced the wonky pigeon.
Is he your mascot?
Yeah.
And what's his name again?
Well, we our latest creation made a stuffed version. I'll show you him up front.
Okay.
And she named him Willard. So we always have just called him the wonky pigeon.
Wonky
So the wonky pigeon, Willard, whatever you
now
want to call
he's
him.
having a big time with this here. Okay, let's move back this way again.
Okay.
I guess we've reached the end, huh?
Well, there's the art
go in
studio in here.
Let's go in the art studio. I think there's an adult in here working
Is there
too.
an adult doing some art?
Yeah. Yeah. So
a
the kids,
couple of
if
them.
they want to be creative, they can come in here and what do they do? Is there finger painting and
There's a little bit of everything. So we've got a wall full of materials that they can grab whatever they'd like to create with. Sometimes kids want to color, sometimes they want to paint. We've got clay, lots of chalk. They can draw on this whole wall.
oh
but
sure,
then we've
this
got
is just a big canvas here, isn't it? Yeah.
And then we've got this nice big workspace here.
Oh, neat.
I like to tell families that for some families, they don't want to do the Play-Doh and the clay and the paint
'Cause
at
it's kinda
home.
messy?
Yeah,
Yeah.
so we have the perfect space to do that.
Yeah,
So.
yeah, and they can make all them. You don't mind if they make a mess because
Nope.
that's part of the reason you're here, right?
Yep.
Okay, and then of course you can always wash up.
Yep.
That's a gift for the parents.
Yes.
Okay, so that's the art studio.
Yep, that's
Okay.
the art
And
studio.
we're back here. What do you ever get them this? You get them this young, huh?
Yeah, we have. I think the youngest kiddo we've had in here is just a couple of weeks old. So they kind of watched while big siblings did things. But that actually brings us over here to our next area,
Okay.
which is
Following
called
you.
our Ready, Set, Grow Nook. This is an area that's specifically designed with infants and toddlers in mind. So we've got an awesome program here called Ready, Set, Grow. It is a program that emphasizes the importance of brain building for little kiddos. So we have a couple of coordinators, Sarah and Karen, that travel around to local health departments, hospitals, parenting classes, and talk to parents about how important it is to talk and read and play intentionally with their kiddos. So this space is really designed to emphasize that. So we've got the nuggets over here that they can pull out and build forts with, gobs of books. All the baskets
okay,
and
yeah, the
things
books are
over here.
back over here.
Yep.
And then of course, here's the books, of course. And then of course they love crawling through here and
Yep.
all over everything.
Yep. She's got another ball for you.
Oh, here.
She must like you.
Here, can I give it back to you?
Oh, she knows
Or you want to
all
give me
about
the other one?
pictures.
You want to give me that other one?
Takes a picture every day.
Thank you. Thank you. What a cutie. All right. Okay, let's go.
All right. So a couple more areas of our tiny town. We've got the pizzeria. So this is a space where kiddos can come in, cook up a pizza, throw it in the pizza oven.
Now, you don't really mean that.
Oh, of course.
Oh, it does turn. Okay, light comes on, it turns.
Yeah. You
Well,
can
isn't
cup
that
up a
nifty?
pizza and
Okay,
then
well, let me see. Okay, so they would put this together like
Yeah.
this. Okay, they could put some toppings on there.
toppings on there. Oh, and I think you've got a customer ready to eat.
Okay, all right, and then it would have to cook first, though.
Come in there with
So it
you.
has to go in there. You hungry? Huh? You hungry?
Probably is.
Yep, probably is. I am.
She likes
Okay. Then
Look, he made you a pizza.
they can slide it out. Here, you want a
Thank you.
slice? You want a slice?
Black olives.
Black
Yum.
olives. Pepperoni? Want some pepperoni?
Let's see here. Oh, it's hot. hot. Just kidding. Here you go.
Take a bite. Eat it.
Oh,
Oh,
thank you.
I don't
I
think-
get the
I don't
olive.
think
I
she
love
likes
olives.
olives.
I love olives. Thank you, dear. Okay, we're moving on.
All right. So in the next room is our ice cream shop. So just another little space that when we took occupancy over here, this was actually a dressing room from one of the former tenants. So originally we were going to put our Nook for Ready, Set, Grow over here, but decided to put in a couple of little restaurants and eateries instead. So kiddos can make milkshakes and practice counting and color identification, scoop up some ice cream.
Yeah.
Real tasty.
Might break a tooth.
Oh, what's the theme on this one?
Okay, and then this one is our vet clinic. So when we were building out this space in the fall, originally this was going to be a diner. You can kind of tell from the diner
Yeah.
stools. And when we were at the mall in the fall, we had a little area that was designed to be a vet clinic, and kids just loved it. So we decided to turn the diner into a vet clinic, got some more pets here, and have embraced it. And it's definitely a favorite area for a lot of the kiddos.
So in your new location, you'll have a vet clinic, probably,
I think
huh?
that they'd
You're
be
all-
sad if we didn't.
You're all set up for it. I love this aquarium with the.
Yeah.
This is almost like your blower over there that threw the scarves up in the
Yeah.
air. That's kind of neat.
Yep, so we've got the fish, we've got some little aquariums with little frogs and lizards over there, the guinea pigs. It's funny, people always think that these might be like hamsters. I'm like, that's a large hamster.
That's a
So,
guinea pig.
it's
Yep.
that's a guinea pig.
Handsome
but-
dogs.
yep.
Handsome dogs.
And then the kiddos can come in and grab a vet record, write down their pets' names, and circle.
Oh, that's
you know,
neat.
are they hurt? Are they sick? What do they need? What's the treatment plan? So they love it. That's downstairs.
That's the end of the downstairs.
That's the
All right.
downstairs.
Can we go up?
Let's go up.
All right. Well, the stairs are good for kids too.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's good for them. Get some activity.
Yes.
Oh, an igloo.
Yeah. So up here, we call our Discovery Loft. This is an area for families to celebrate birthday parties. That's kind of why you see all these tables here, but then also features our rotating exhibit area. So right now, it's Into the Arctic. This will be here through the end of the month.
Neat.
And then we're going to be switching over to Here We Go theme, which is construction and transportation vehicles. So by the time this airs, I'm guessing it'll probably be switched over, but maybe this will be back next winter. But this is actually a sock skating rink, so you can slide on your
perfectly smooth.
The kiddos can slide around.
Well, isn't that nice? Yeah.
This is actually an exhibit that we've borrowed from this Children's Museum over in Springfield.
So this would be like if you have a birthday party, this is where it would be. How often do you have parties? Monthly, weekly? Or?
We have them weekly. We're actually booked through April and not taking any more reservations until for the summer ones because it's been really, really popular. So we can't quite accommodate everyone, but we're trying our best.
Yeah. Sarah, we touched on Ready, Set, Grow, but we didn't talk much about it. How does it work?
Well, Ready, Set, Grow is a program that first started back in 2013, and there was some community members that got together and decided that there was opportunities that were being missed in the community as far as reaching birth to 5 years of age. And there exists a gap of students entering kindergarten that really shouldn't be there as far as academic success and so forth. And so this grant-funded program was established back in 2013 and to interact with parents and caregivers to let them know the power that they have to shape their child's brain, that every child, has the, or every parent has the ability in which to make their child smart by intentionally reading, intentionally talking, and intentionally playing with their child. And
so it's a function of the museum, but it doesn't happen here for the most part. It happens off-site.
Great question. It originally started and was birthed, so to speak, under the Regional Office of Education, and so that's where the program and the community involvement started was with that. But being a government organization, we were looking for a nonprofit to go under, and so then the partnership just last year with the Children's Museum began, and that has allowed us, now we're in our 11th year or so, allowed us to expand the families that we reach being here. And so we do exactly what we did when we were under the regional office, and we go into 10 counties and we meet with the nurses that see the WIC patients, and they're kind of our mediators, so to speak, and so we give the messages to the nurses about the power that parents have to shape their child's brain and build that brain architecture. And then the nurses when the parents and families come in for their visits, can spread that message. But now that we're under the museum, we continue to go to the 10 county health departments, but then we also get to see parents and caregivers and families on Monday mornings. We have an isolated time from 9 to 12 every Monday where it's just birth to 5 years of age, and those families can come in, and Ms. Karen or myself will be here to help talk through those brain building activities that you can be doing depending upon the age of your child, and give them different resources and whatnot to just to encourage parents in which to intentionally interact. We talk about a socioeconomic gap that exists with children entering kindergarten, and some of it was based on that. But we're, as research is coming out, we're noticing that it still exists, but not as much, because now we're so in tuned to be in front of screens, the parents are, and and so now our message is kind of still the same message, but put the phone down and have that eye-to-eye contact with your child, and spending that intentional time with them, and what that can do to a child's brain. 90% of a child's brain when they enter kindergarten is already developed. And so often we want to think that, the schools will take care of that academic, we'll wait to push it until they get to the schools, but it can start right after birth. Yeah. Absolutely.
Thank
Absolutely.
You.
You're welcome.
The plan has always been for this to be a temporary location. Let's go look at the permanent location that's under construction. We'll be back to the Quincy Childrens Museum right after this.
From our trucks to their lunch trays, to your local hospital, to your favorite pub, and to your kitchen table. For more than 60 years, Dot Foods and Dot Transportation have been stocking the shelves of your hometown. Sure, we've grown a lot, but at our core, we're still small-town, family-run businesses that care about our communities and the people who keep us running. Join the Dot family today and be part of something bigger.
Why work at Dot?
You could list out individual qualities forever.
There's a lot of opportunities.
They take care of the employees, they take care of the community.
So our pay, our benefits, it's competitive. Time off, tons of flexibility.
They're willing to work with you to help you advance.
Emily Russell, we're in what's going to be the new location for the Springfield or for the Quincy Childrens Museum, and the dream is here, I guess, to get this is an old box building, in shape to house the new museum in a few years. It's kind of iffy, isn't it?
Well, it's fluid, dependent on fundraising and construction progress. Obviously, we've done a tremendous amount of work in the space over the past couple of years. Like even just walking in today, it's incredible to see where it was.
Clearing out an old building like this is a chore in itself, and I understand that you've already torn down 2 adjoining buildings to make way for parking because there was just no way to use those buildings and they had to get out of the way, right?
Absolutely, absolutely. Yeah, I remember the first time we came to the building as a board just to see the viability of it, what it could be like, and I think I can speak for a lot of the board that we walked in and first of all, it's floor to ceiling of treasures, nothing short of just cars and trucks and building materials and signs and Quincy artifacts and tractors. Like it was a treasure trove. But I think so many of us could walk in and immediately see the vision.
Yeah. Well, let's walk through because we get a chance. We have to stay on kind of a narrow path here because the floor is not in the best shape, but we know which way to go. Okay, so this is the ground floor, and this will be the entrance, the floor that the visitors will enter into. What sort of exhibits and displays will be here? Do you know?
Yeah, so we have plans for a tiny town play space, a little bit similar to what is in the space that we're in right now, but obviously on a much more big professional scale. In the middle here will be a multi-level climbing structure that will have all different sorts of tunnels and nets and spaces for kids to explore and climb. We'll have a big water table feature. Both levels will feature a space specifically for infants and a sensory room and just different spaces to meet the needs of the diverse community that we serve.
You know, during this program, we're going to show some artists' renderings about what the finished product is going to look like.
So cool.
And it really is a knockout. And I think people are going to be very impressed. Everybody's going to be, keeping their fingers crossed that this can come sooner than later. Let's keep moving because now we're going to have 3 levels here. 30,000 square feet compared to the 3,000 you have now.
Yeah. Which is remarkable that we have the space that we have now, just considering my daughter's about to turn 5 and when she was a few weeks old, Amy and I met for the first time over coffee at Crazy Cakes actually. Me as a new mom in the area, I didn't grow up in the Quincy area and was just really yearning for an opportunity to connect with other moms and families and get my kids involved. And growing up in St. Louis, I had access to the Magic House and the City Museum and places like that. And so, I was interested in what a children's museum could be like here. And through a mutual friend, Amy and I got connected and sat down over coffee. And she talked about her ideas and some of the things that she had already in the works. And so to be at the place we're at now, where we're renovating a huge building, we have a physical space in less than 5 years, just feels incredible.
Yeah. Let's go up the 3rd floor because you can actually see the work that's been done up there.
Okay. Yeah.
Okay, Emily, we're almost there.
We got this.
Yeah, almost there.
High ceilings mean it's amazing.
High ceilings mean that. Well, let me see that view. I walked right past it. Let's take a look.
It's amazing.
Let's take a look. Oh yeah. Yep. That's Quincy for you. There's the river and the bridge. Yep. Very nice. Okay. 3rd floor. Looks like they've already done some work here. Look. Did you get a new roof put on?
We did, yeah. So when we acquired this space, there was quite a lot of structural damage specifically in the roof, which obviously becomes an issue for the rest of the building as well. So a big piece of the last couple of years, in addition to just clearing out everything that was in here, was doing the structural repairs so that we could really start the internal work to make it
you can
usable.
see that's working here too. This must have been rotted out, so this will be corrected. And then what'll be up here in the final?
So the third floor is going to be really cool. It will be mostly event type space. So if you can imagine, especially with this view, what it would be like to, I don't know, hold a wedding reception at the Children's Museum, or birthday
we already
parties.
have a lot of birthday parties for kids, right?
That kind of stuff. We'll have some more of the administrative office space up here also, perhaps some traveling exhibits, but primarily this will be a space for hosting different types of things.
Well, it's going to be a lot of work, and I know that you can't answer these things specifically, but I mean, you have to be thinking down the road, and you have to be thinking how long can we take to pull this together, and how much money are we going to have to raise? Are you 50% there in your fundraising, or can you even tell yet?
Yeah, so we've raised about $2.2 million to date, and we're in the middle of a $10 million capital campaign with about 9 left to go, and so a lot of the $1 million question or $10 million question is, when's the Children's Museum going to be open? And that is largely dependent on fundraising, donor support, community support, and just how that brings the construction process along.
The best case scenario would probably be something like 2026?
26, 27 maybe, yeah.
Wouldn't that be a thrill?
It would be amazing. It would be so amazing. My kids are about to turn 5.
Will they still be kids?
Yeah, they're about to turn 5 and 7. And like I said, my daughter was a baby when this was an idea, and so to be able to bring them here in their childhood would just be a very cool moment.
Thanks, Emily.
Absolutely.
The look of Quincy's riverfront will be much changed when the Quincy Paper Box Company becomes the Quincy Childrens Museum sometime, hopefully, in the next 5 years. With another Muddy River gem in Quincy, I'm Mark McDonald, brought to you by Dot Foods. Thanks for watching.
This episode of Muddy River Gems was brought to you by Dot Foods.